Well, I joined railways and I was thinking to enjoy. I was trying hard to enjoy and be happy, but I was not happy. And I was not knowing what is wrong with all these things. So I called my mother and I asked her, why is it happening with me? Why I'm not enjoying all this? She said me, do you remember your 10th class interview? Have you ever read that piece of paper again that you said you want to be something or you want to do something for your village and all those things? Was this struggle was only for a sarkari job or a good salary, or was something for something else also? Well, I really recalled and I read this interview again, and I don't know how many times in my life I've read it, and I decided to prepare for civil service examination. Well, this examination, I want to say, is one of the toughest exam of in not only India but of world. 11 lakh aspirant appear for this, and mostly it takes 4-5 attempts for them to clear. Students in Delhi, if you will go there and see, they are giving their 24 hours every day and preparing for this exam. And I was doing the job of railways, was deciding to prepare for this exam. I was hardly getting 3 or 4 hours from my training to prepare for this exam. I could not take leave in training also. So the decision was going to be very tough decision for me. But with all those things, I decided to go ahead and I started my preparation. I was mostly on train roaming for railway training, so I bought a tab and I downloaded all the things. So I started reading online. I read in mobile, I read in my tab, and I was mostly on stealing mode. I was stealing minutes from hours, and sometime I felt frustrated. I felt like giving up. Again, I called my mom. She was a continuous mentor for me. So I called her. I said, see, even after becoming a sarkari afsar, I have to do again all these things. Life is so miserable for me. I was never enjoying when I was a child, and today also when I am an officer, I am not enjoying. I am only doing studies, and I don't know where it is going to lead. Am I going to qualify it or not? I am not sure, but still I am again studying all the time. She said me one thing. See, you are 23. When I was 23, I had 3 childs. The youngest of them was 10 months old. I had a family of 30 plus members to whom I had to cook meal. Then I had a job 10 kilometers away from our village to another village, so I had to go do that also. And then I had allergic skin, so for that I had to visit doctor and I have to cover my body all the time. So I had all these problems, but I never complained. You, on the other hand, do not have any social responsibility, familial responsibility. All you have is your dream. All you want is to prove for yourself, because for others you have already proved. Now this is your task, you have to do, and you are saying life is difficult at you. You need to change your lenses, beta. That day I stopped complaining mostly, at least with her, and I was totally on a mission mode. All my scarcities, I converted them into my luxuries. The more I struggled, more strong I became, and finally I got All India rank 50 in this coveted exam, Civil Services Examination 2016. To summarize, at last I believed in these words. These words truly tell my story, and I also want to convey these words to you also. There is no substitute of hard work, and there is no shortcut to success.
I used to go into the washroom, wash my face, and be like, shit, Spurti, this is not you. You're bloody earning from 16. I used to go stand in the kitchen, make tea, coffee. I'm like, is this you? The answer used to be always no. This is not who you're born to be. And something struck my head saying, Spurti, you're not born to be ordinary. You are born to be extraordinary. And that voice hit me strong, because in India, you don't need any reason to become an ordinary person apart from you're a woman. You just need that reason. You're a woman, you're supposed to live an ordinary life. And I wanted to become a voice for such people who said this, because there's so many women out there, in spite of all of these hardships, all of this journey, they've created magic and they've created history, and I wanted to tell that to the world. Now let me tell you how I built this brand, Karnataka Women Achievers Awards. It was just an evening and I went and sat with my friend having a coffee. I said, listen, I was independent from 16. something changed. I got married. I became nothing. I was like, I'm somebody's wife, I'm somebody's daughter, I'm somebody's daughter-in-law. Who am I? I don't have an identity for myself. That is when I sat and said, why not we bring in such women in this world who have created their own identity and tell their stories to the world loud and clear that in spite of all of this, these women have created history. And with that thought, we came up with Karnataka Women Achievers Awards. But vitamin M was zero. I went, my husband is rich, but I did not get married for that. But I own a net worth equal right now with my own, okay? So yeah, you can't go ask your family or your husband saying that you're doing an award ceremony, you're giving an award to somebody, please give me money. Nobody would say yes, right? So what I had to do is, then we came up with this sponsorship and all of that. You won't believe it. I think more than 120 brands have rejected us. Because I had no idea how to build brands. I had no idea what sponsorship deck was. I had no idea how to do an event of that large scale. But guys, 6 months down the lane, we and my team, a group of friends, used to call brands wait for hours. Big brands, but chota soch nahi tha. Paisa soch, money was lesser. Kammi dutittu. Soch and thinking was never small. We used to call only big brands. You name the top brands we used to call, and it used to be like tall numbers, marketing managers, everybody, always rejection. At the end of the day, we used to sit, I'm like, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Then I said, let's not give up, we'll go pitch again.